Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Mary, I'm a scientist and an illustrator artist, and I make these videos to try and bring some balance in between my 9 to 5 as well as my creative life. Sometimes doing so is a little more difficult than other times, but I really enjoy what I do and I like to bring you along with me, especially on different things like walks through the forest and everything else that brings me a little sense of joy and creativity as well. Thank you for being here, and please do grab a cup of tea and settle down and enjoy. One thing that's been really inspiring me recently is the autumnal days and going into the forest and taking videos and photos of what might not be here for very long. The trees, the leaves, and the colours they bring us. Hello. The last couple months have been difficult to make anything in. I got so burnt out that I needed to just take a break, and I did, and I'm glad that I did. I've just not made anything. I did one illustration, which was okay. I'm not very proud of it. I didn't like a lot of things about it, but I enjoyed making it. So I would really like to be able to turn the camera on this week and say that I've made something by the end of it. I would love to make something small and just have it there as a symbol of me still being. I'm not sure if other creators and artists feel this way, but I think a lot of my being a person is tied up in being creative and making things, and when I don't make things I feel like less of a person. I'll show you the video that I'm editing right now. On top of art and illustration, I love playing with a really high quality camera and making these sort of artsy videos. I don't always get to spend my evenings just being alone with creating with my cats, but when I do, I'm really grateful because I find that I work my best in the evenings. There's something about it being dark outside that allows me to just relax and create. When I get into the rhythm of art, the next day starts with more art, and I've been trying to sketch some very simple little drawings of leaves and little things that you'll find around the house. Winnie. Yeah, same. This is Pixie, and she is my cat. She absolutely adores having the tap on in the morning and will not allow me to have it off for quite some time afterwards. For the first time in a year, I've put a dress on. And in order to put this dress on, I had to lint roll it, and I was going like this, and I accidentally got my hair stuck in this and ripped a whole load of it out. So let's go to work. I'm not incredibly fashionable, but this is what I was wearing today. And going to work can be such a nice time to just think and appreciate all the trees and being outside and smelling the fresh air and seeing all the signs of autumn developing. At work, I've been doing a lot more computational work these days because I'm working on some reviewers' comments for one of my research papers. Despite how concerned I looked in here, I was actually quite enjoying being able to sit with my data and analyze it and talk about it a little bit more. In here you can see that I clearly needed to just decompress from the day and draw some simple sketches. I decided to just try and recreate this landscape with just some colour blotting everywhere. This is what I've been working on. It's a sort of like dramatized version of a landscape that I saw, and it's working okay so far. I got some new pencils. These are Faber-and-Castell. They are very cheap pencil set of 60, which is these, and I've just been trying them out. I so far really like them, and because I'm a digital illustrator, I have no opinions other than these work. I've actually been wanting to use pencils for a really long time. I've had almost like a brain itch that I've been meaning to scratch, and this has been so nice because something that you can't do with digital illustration is build up on layers. I mean, sometimes you can, but it really depends on the brush, and because I tend to use like watercolor brushes, it can get very difficult to sort of like work into something and build up on the layers, and I think that's something that my brain really enjoys. I think my brain works from like the bottom up rather than top down, where it's not able to really understand shape and where color goes immediately, so it just sort of like finds its way. And I'm not sure if other people are like that as well. I tend to feel like most artists can pretty much just like pick up on where the colors and shapes should be immediately and then work on that, but I'm just not that way, and I find a lot of joy in just like shaping things out. It is another day and I'm gonna go for a run and hopefully do some cleaning as well. It's already 10 AM, so I should probably just go off and do that. The lengths I'll go to just not tie my shoelace again. It's not that I can't tie my shoelace, it's just that life is too short to tie shoelaces over and over again. I got into running very late in life. I was never good at running as a child. I was often called a duck as I ran. However, about 4 years ago, I decided to go on a run, and I haven't stopped ever since. I get to see beautiful scenery and appreciate animals on my way. And there's no better way to begin my day. There's also something very grounding about sitting beneath the trees and feeling incredibly small. It's a feeling that will last quite a long time afterwards for me. It's also just so lovely to be able to check in with the forest and see how it's changing throughout the seasons. Delicious. Beautiful. Okay, I thought it would be more satisfying than this. It's so good. Now I actually have to go and clean. Okay, so I was just cleaning and I found this heavyweight cartridge paper, which is good for pen, pencil, charcoal, oil pastel. I promise I can read, I'm just struggling. It is 200 grams per square meter. It's 200 GSM. So I had an idea. What I could do is, at the beginning of the video I said that I wanted to make something small to prove that I'm actually still here and still capable of making anything. And so what I can do is like take small pieces of paper. This is about A5. I would probably do A6, so half this size, and just make little landscapes out of it. I might even do smaller than A6, maybe half of A6, so like this big. And that might be a really good way of not becoming like overwhelmed by art and creating and finishing a piece. I just want to finish something. Honestly, I've not finished anything in so long. Okay, welcome to my madness. What I've done is I've taken a whole A4 piece of paper, cut it in half to A5, so I have an A5 paper. I then cut it in half again to an A6 size, so I have an A6 paper, and then I cut that half again. So now I have two teeny tiny pieces of paper whose size I don't actually know. I don't know, is it A7? Probably. So what we're going to do is look up some landscapes that we want to draw, hopefully preferably ones with trees, because I don't know what it is, I just love trees. Looking at them, like everything that I have just like sat here in this room is tree oriented. I've also got some art tape, which is just regular masking tape labeled as artist tape. It's about this thick, which in comparison to the A7 size is quite small. Me and Lily are on the same wavelength right now. Okay, I found this one and I like it, and what I'm going to do is essentially ignore this part and go in and just draw essentially this part. Lily's here as well. She's just bringing us good vibes. Thank you, Lily, for the good vibes. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes and this is what I've made. I did a tiny A7 piece. You saw me make it, and I know it's very basic. I know it's literally just a couple of lines on a piece of paper, but it's made me so happy. I think what I'll do is go over it a little bit more detail before I have to start cooking some dinner, because I am starving. Then what I'll do is probably scan it in using my scanner and maybe even turn it into a sticker or something that maybe someone would like to have. Anyway, so I think the lesson that I've learned this week is the age-old lesson of, if you're feeling overwhelmed by something, just break it down into manageable chunks. Even if it means that you need to take like a literal A4 piece of paper and shrink it down into an A7. This has definitely helped me. And so if you decide to do this, I hope it helps you as well. I wanted to say a massive thank you for spending your time here and staying until the end. If you are here, please comment down below a little emoji of a cloud. I will be so happy. And if you like this video, there's more coming. I've got more work coming, so there'll be some more lab content as well as art content. I'm very grateful that you're here, and if you enjoyed this, please do consider subscribing and come and join me on The Mind of Mary on Instagram. Anyway, thanks again, and until next time, take care and thanks for being here. Bye.